Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the journey through the Proverbs. Welcome to day 2. Let's go ahead and jump right on into the text for today. Today we will be reading, of course, Proverbs chapter 2 from the World English Bible. In verse 1, it says, "My child, if you will receive my words and store up my commands within you, so as to turn your ear to wisdom and apply your heart to understanding. Yes, if you call out for discernment and lift up your voice for understanding, if you seek her as silver and search for her as hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom. Out of his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. He lays up sound wisdom for the upright. He is a shield to those who walk in integrity, that he may guard the paths of justice and preserve the way of his saints. Then you will understand righteousness and justice, equity, and every good path. For wisdom will enter into your heart, knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. Discretion will watch over you, understanding will keep you, to deliver you from the way of evil, from the people who speak perverse things, who forsake the paths of uprightness, to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil and delight in the perverseness of evil, who are crooked in their ways, who and wayward in their paths, to deliver you from the strange woman, even from the foreigner who flatters with her words, who forsakes the friend of her youth and forgets the covenant of her God. For her house leads down to death, her paths to the departed spirits. None who go to her return again, neither do they attain to the paths of life. So you may walk in the way of good people and keep the paths of righteousness. For the upright will dwell in the land, the perfect will remain in it, but the wicked will be cut off from the land, the treacherous will be rooted out of it." That is some pretty intense stuff for sure. So many great things to get out of this chapter. I feel like I could just go on and on. This is really difficult, I just have to say, to kind of narrow this down to like one topic. But I think one of the things that I got out of this today was that there's two things. There's like one of two things that you could focus on, which actually is really great. Sometimes it's hard to have too many decisions. So it kind of makes it simple on you. It's like, hey, you got a decision. You could either focus on the positive or the negative. You could focus on the dark or the light. You could focus on wisdom or folly. And I love these first few verses at the beginning. It just talks about how don't just kind of turn towards wisdom, but really focus on it, love it, desire it, appreciate it, immerse yourself in it. It takes intentionality. You're not just going to fall into this stuff. It really takes some serious intention to do this. And the encouragement is not to just know the words, because Jesus talked to some of the religious people of his day. He said, hey, you study these words because you think that by them you possess eternal life, yet you refuse to come to me. And so this is not just about knowing what's in the scriptures, being able to recite what's in the scriptures, but really hungering and thirsting and internalizing them. And when you start to do that, then you develop a taste for it. Like the psalm says, taste and see that the Lord is good. And you'll be able then to develop almost a disdain for the unhealthy stuff. I don't know if you've ever been on any kind of diet where it's like at first it's really hard to not eat the sweet stuff, the really unhealthy stuff. But after a while, training yourself to eat what is healthy, all of a sudden you kind of look at the unhealthy stuff almost with a disdain, like it doesn't even appeal to you anymore. And the main thing is that you can tell a difference. I remember when I was a little kid, maybe 12 years old, so maybe not so little, but my family and I went on a tour of the Mint in Washington, D.C., where they print the money. And I just remember standing up in this room and looking down on another room where there was all these people, and they had pages and pages of dollar bills, different bills, and they would flip through these pages just looking at them. And what we were told is that how they could spot a fake is not because they studied all the different types of fakes out there, but they studied intensely what a true and genuine dollar bill actually looks like. So when you really know what the genuine article is, what the genuine thing is, then you can spot a fake a mile away. Well, what I love about Proverbs 2 is that if you really focus on and really ingest wisdom, a couple of things, you'll be able to spot a fake in no time, and then it's going to save you. Number two, it's going to save you from a lot of heartache. What I think of is, what is the voice that you are listening to? There's so many voices that are going on externally and internally, outside of us, inside of us. What is the voice that you listen to? And so my affirmation for the day is, I turn my ear to wisdom and apply my heart to understanding. I turn my ear to wisdom and apply my heart to understanding. You do that, and as the scriptures say here, you're going to find the knowledge of God. And that sounds incredibly interesting to me. Well, I hope this has been helpful. Thanks so much for joining me for day 2. Would love to hear your comments, your takeaways, your affirmations that you're coming up with. Please leave a comment in the comments section, and we will see you back here tomorrow.